Don't let the greed blind you into getting scammed. That might be the opening line of this video. We'll have to see, maybe the title.
Everything changes.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the channel. Tuesday, October 27th, 2020. Hope you guys had a wonderful day and an afternoon. A lot of people, a lot of new sellers to eBay, Amazon, to all the platforms, and we see a ton of common newbie scams all the time across all the platforms, including Facebook and OfferUp and Let Go and eBay and all those. Many of my experienced sellers and advanced sellers here are going to know exactly what I'm talking about and exactly how to handle this. So for those of you that are experienced, most of this video won't be informative for you, but please leave your experiences down below for the newbies to hear. For those of you that are new or not very experienced and haven't ran into this, especially on eBay and Facebook, here are some of the most common attempts at a scam or shadiness or all the different types of things that can happen, from gift cards and texting and calling and kindly ship this to another person in another state. All of these are going to be the most common scams, frauds, and things that we see on eBay, Facebook, and other platforms. So if you are new, please check this out. If you're gonna start selling, or you know someone who's gonna start selling or who did just start, please share this with them. Most of these scams will target newer sellers and newer people to this niche because they know you haven't experienced yet and they have a better chance of getting you. I know a lot of people say, how does this still happen? How do these still go on? They just do. They're nonstop, just like the old Nigerian prince scam. They still happen because people still fall for them, because there's always somebody new to this business and new to these platforms. And so that's why it happens. And this is my warning to all of them. At least I have put this out, and any of you that are new should not get caught up in these. So let's start with number one. Now I'm gonna try and put screenshots or pictures up of as many of these as I can find. This hasn't happened to me in a long time because I have established accounts and I know what I'm doing, and most people don't even bother to try it with me. Every once in a while I get one. But number one is an eBay scam where they try to get you to call them or text them or even email them outside of the platform in order to complete a transaction. Now, first of all, this is strictly against eBay policy, because eBay doesn't want you taking transactions off platform to avoid fees, but also because of these scams. And so that's number one giveaway. eBay never allows off-platform transactions. So if anybody asks you to text them or call them or email them or any of that stuff off eBay and they're doing it through an eBay message, it's a scam. It's a 100% red flag scam. And why is it a scam? What happens if you do text them or call them, besides the whole eBay policy thing? Well, that's where they start running the next part of the scam, where they try to get you to give them an American Express or a Western Union payment or a wire that you can't reverse, and then they take your money and they run. Or they try to get you to get gift card numbers and give them the gift card number. These are all scams that we're going to talk about in a second. But once they get you off the platform, then they've kind of reeled you in. And so that's step one, and that's red flag warning number one. Number two, and don't take this the wrong way, and some people are gonna scream and yell racist or not politically correct or whatever you wanna talk about, but if somebody's English is not good on eBay, and I mean this in the nicest way, because there's a lot of people whose English is not their first language, or who speak perfectly fine English, but they mix it with their Spanish or their, whatever other language that they speak. Typically speaking, in a far majority of the messages you will receive on eBay, if it's sent in broken English, not in another language, but in broken English, it's a scam. Almost always. There are some exceptions, but it should be a red flag to you immediately to dig deeper. Now, I get messages from like Spanish folks or German folks or French folks all the time overseas looking to buy my item, and they write to me in French or in German or in Spanish, and I have to translate it and Google Translate it, and that's fine, and these are legitimate customers. They've just accidentally sent it in their home language, or they just forgot to translate, or whatever it is, and those aren't always scams. In fact, a lot of those are legitimate. I get those messages all the time. But when I get one that's in really broken English, regardless of the other language they're using, it's almost always a scam, and you can pretty much bank on it. Within a little bit of research, you'll find it's a scam. Okay, number three is people with zero feedback get a bad rep that they are a scam or a fraud, especially if they're telling you to take an item down or they represent a company. That's not always the case. A lot of legitimate companies use eBay accounts that don't have any feedback history. They simply use it to police their products. So don't always assume that that's a scam just because they have zero feedback. And a lot of people had to start somewhere, right? So they might have zero feedback or be a guest or be at every once in a while eBay user with one feedback or none or whatever. If they do have zero feedback and they're trying to buy an item that's $500 or making offers, that's pretty much a scam as well. And you should be very, very weary of selling a high dollar item to a zero feedback person, especially if you are a newer seller. If you have a lot of experience and a lot of feedback, like if I put up a $500 item right now and somebody tried to buy it that had little to no feedback, I would still be very cautious of it, but I would at least investigate it. But you can bet that some percentage of those are going to be fake. Now, I'm not saying don't sell stuff to people with zero and little feedback. Not at all. You have to sell it to them. If they buy it, you don't want to cancel. But if they're making best offers, I'd be a little more cautious of that. So just a heads up that when they don't have a lot of feedback or history, that you need to get your senses up and start, kind of investigating. Message them and say, hey, I appreciate the offer for $400 on this $500 item. We ship in 1 day. Are you ready to pay? Just send them a thank you so much for your offer. I want to accept it. Just kind of get that back and forth going, and hopefully you can confirm whether or not they are serious about buying the item. And if they don't respond, then you have your answer, right? And you'll get a lot of these that you will accept it and have unpaid items because they just never pay. Okay, so that is the zero feedback thing. Don't always assume that it's fake because zero feedback is common, especially with big companies. Okay, if they send you any kind of message, this goes for Facebook, eBay, or anywhere, that says kindly, hi sir, kindly, boom, it's fake. It is fake, period. Nobody uses that type of language. If you recognize a paragraph or a sentence or a message as something that other people would never say, kindly sir, can I get you to tell me the final price? Nobody talks like that. It's fake. It's foreigners that don't get it. They're terrible at what they do, but it still works on a lot of people. If they're asking you questions about the condition and the price and everything that you've put in there, I'm not saying there aren't a bunch of lazy buyers that do this anyways, but for the most part, if it's somebody that goes, can you please confirm with me the final price and blah, 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 it's fake, guys. It's a scam. Just period. It's done. Okay, the follow-up to that is if they ask you to ship it, like, oh, I have a family member in Michigan and I live blah, blah, blah. I'm in the military, I need to unload this before I move to a storage, blah, blah, blah. I'm overseas. It's fake. Done. What you guys have to understand, especially about eBay, 99.999999999% of all transactions, especially ones that I've done and all my viewers and hundreds of thousands of members of Facebook groups and all this, are as simple as a customer buys an item, pays for it, and you ship it, and you never hear another word out of them. Or maybe they make a best offer and you accept it and they pay it. There's very little times that there's ever a back and forth in messages, and even if there is, it's somebody that you know is real. It's somebody that's like, hey, what color is that dress? I'm just trying to confirm it for my daughter who loves the blue one. And you're like, oh, hey, it's blue. And they're like, all right, cool, thanks. They buy. Nothing goes beyond that. There's very few times that you're going to incur a transaction where somebody's going to be in another state that needs you to ship it to Timbuktu to Snow White's castle in order for the dinosaur to pick it up and drive to it. It just doesn't happen. When things start working out in that manner and those sentences and paragraphs, it's fake. Just move on. Besides, who wants to go through all that trouble anyways? There are other buyers, and here's the one thing I can say about scams that is the reason everybody that falls for them. It's greed. You can't see past the greed. Why do typically rich people, smart rich people, never get ripped off? Because they're not in a rush to get the money, or the money doesn't blind them. They don't care. So they're just like, I'll sell this whenever it sells. I don't care what your brother's, sister's, fiance's dinosaur is doing in Michigan. I'll catch you next time. But those of you that don't have a lot of money and need to sell that item are like, oh my God, it's a buyer, I need to get this done. Not realizing that you're gonna be in even worse shape than you were in when they steal your item and your money. Don't let the greed blind you into getting scammed. That might be the opening line of this video. We'll have to see, maybe the title. Don't let greed blind you. If it sounds too good to be true or it sounds too complicated, 99.99999% of the time it is. Do not get scammed because you're too excited to sell an item. Same at a thrift store when you buy a Louis Vuitton purse for $4 out of Goodwill. It's fake. It's fake. Casey, is this Louis Vuitton that I bought from Goodwill? It's fake. Yeah, there's gonna be real ones. People find real Louis and real Coaches and real Gucci's at Goodwill all the time in thrift stores. I get it. But for every one that you find that's real, there's 85,000 more in my Facebook group that have found one that's fake. They're fake, guys. If you find, nobody's putting a $4 a $4,000 Fendi purse at Goodwill for $4. Not if it's real. If it happens, it's a once in a very blue moon mistake. Look, plenty of people find them and it happens, but the percentages and chances are so low. If it's too good to be true, it usually is. Just keep that in mind. That's how the world works, guys. That's just the way it works. So that is your next scam. All right, so as I mentioned earlier in the video, any kind of payment alternatives are typically scams. If they ask you to pay with gift cards, it's an automatic scam. They're stealing the gift card number and taking the money. If they ask you Western Union or Wire, it's almost always a scam as well. That's very, very rare. There are some situations with eBay Motors and higher end products and things. You know, Drive Time with Dave, he sells some very expensive computer electronics, and he's done business with people that he recognizes their company from out in the world on eBay, and he'll buy something from them and call them and say, hey, this is $8,000. I'm just gonna wire you the money, and the two of them work it out. They still do the transaction through eBay and pay the fee and everything, but it's just easier. They just have this agreement and they know each other and they're familiar with each other and they just wire the money, right? And so that's kind of how that works. And so, but other than that, if somebody's asking you and you don't know them and it's a scam. Don't wire, don't gift card, don't Western Union, none of that stuff. It's transactions need to happen exactly how they're meant to happen on the platform. And that goes with Facebook or Amazon or eBay or any of these other platforms. It's just, there's so many scammers in the world, and they're gonna target these websites and they're gonna target new sellers and new people as much as they possibly can. That's just the way it is, so keep yourself safe. All right, so 3 more things to look out for. One is feedback extortion. If somebody buys an item from you and then tries to extort you, money out of you in response to leaving negative or not leaving negative feedback, that's called feedback extortion. It's strictly prohibited on eBay. So for example, you sell somebody a $50 shirt and they hit you up and they go, hey, this is not as described. I found a stain on it. Give me $20 or I'm leaving you negative feedback. Boom, that's extortion. They can't do that. They're more than welcome to say, hey, there was a stain that you didn't describe on this. I'd like to return it for a full refund. Or if you're agreeable, I can go get this dry cleaned and it's gonna cost $5 or $6. And if it works, then you can just partially refund me. If not, then we can work out returning it. Things like that would be okay, but they can't threaten negative feedback and they can't extort you out of money. That's just not allowed. So that's a scam. We don't do partial refunds here. We have a 0 partial refund. If you buy something from me and you're not happy with it, send it back. The reason why, because people would be like, oh, isn't it cheaper to just refund them and be done? Or partial refund them. No, 1, you're enabling behavior that's bad. 2, at least 50 to 60% of these people are lying and will back down the minute you say, send it back, I'll refund you. They'll never hit you up. So that money right there that you've saved is more than going to cover in case anybody does say, okay, I'll ship it back. Okay, cool, pay the label, it comes back, you refund them. That's cost of doing business. But you know what? If you had done the partials or the refunds for all the people that lied about it, then you would have cost yourself way more money. So we have a 0 partial refund policy, and that's why. Don't let people take advantage of you, and don't let people extort you for money, partials, or anything. Just, hey, ship it back, I'll be happy to refund you. Now, if it's something you sold for $5 and you really just don't want to mess with it and you want to do that, I mean, I guess go ahead, but again, I just hate it. I hate refunding, I hate partials, because to me, everyone's a liar. They're all lying. There's nothing wrong with the product. I know when I shipped it out, it was fine. There's a very rare chance that I did something wrong, and if I did, every once in a while, fine, I'll take care of it. But listen, if you're hitting me up saying, oh, blah, 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 you're lying, shut up, send it back for a refund. Oh, that's right, you're lying, so you're not going to. It sounds terrible, but it just, literally, it's probably like 75% of the people I never even hear from again. So keep that in mind. All right, the next one is the old switcheroo empty box, or the sending you back a box of rocks. So probably have a shipping box here. I can show you what I'm talking about in the closet. Let's see. Yep, we have a small flat rate I can give you guys. Okay, so you ship an item, goes out in the flat rate box. You stick it, you stick your item in there, whatever it is, boom, goes out to them. And they get it, and they call you up, hey, this box was empty. I got an empty box. I want a refund. Well, you can have the USPS check the weight. the weight that was on this. Or you can have the receipt when you sent it out, if you got it scanned or weighed, showing that it wasn't empty when it showed up to them, especially if there's a scan from when it's in their city. The other thing is that they will try to get it and put their broken item in and say your item was broken and send it back to you. At that time, the only way that you can really protect yourself is you need photos. You need photos, serial numbers, things like that. So the serial number thing, you never want to put the serial number of an item, an electronic, into the advertisement on eBay. Now, there are some exceptions to this, but here's the reason why. People are good at stealing serial numbers and getting warranty replacements, especially with cell phones. They can use the serial number to clone your phone, and it's really bad. So I don't recommend putting the serial numbers in the pictures. Here's the thing. If it is in the pictures, it will help you to back yourself up. So what I would do is put the last 4, last 5, or last part of the serial number in the photos, right? Don't put the entire thing. If they ask you for it before buying it, don't give it to them. If they ask you for it after they pay for it, then you can go ahead and give it to them because you have to ship it to them anyways, right? So if you have that information, have photos of angles, like for example, if there's some kind of nick on your item and you have photos of that, that will help you identify yours over the one that they sent back to you. It is going to take some fighting. You're going to start with eBay or PayPal to fight it. If that doesn't work, you're going to go to IC3, Ice Cream Charlie, the number 3, ic3.gov, and you're going to file an online crime fraud case. You're going to take that online fraud report and you're going to contact eBay or PayPal and get your money back. And that reports the person to the FBI, and that's a legal pending report. So keep that in mind. Only do it if it's for real. But that will protect you in 99.9% of the cases. So the old switcheroo or the old sending you back your broken one, that's how you kind of have to persuade it. And you can put it in the messages to the people like, hey, I got it back. You sent me an empty box, or you sent me your old broken one. I have the pictures, I have all the evidence. I'm going to give you one chance to do the right thing. Otherwise, I'm going to have to pursue this other avenues and cover myself. Don't be belligerent, don't be mad, don't curse, don't yell, don't threaten them. Just tell them, I want you to do the right thing. Otherwise, I'm going to have to pursue this legally in other avenues. So I've done it and it works, and I've had people go, I'm sorry, that was my son, I didn't know what he was doing. You're lying, shut up, you did it, and now you don't want to get caught. Or they just don't say anything, and then you show eBay those messages and you get your money back. So that's that. Okay, the last scam fraud thing that I want to talk about is a good old one, especially during fourth quarter Christmas, and it's the old woe is me, poor me, donate to me sob story that every one of us get on Facebook and eBay prevalently. So what happens? You wake up one morning, you've got a $100 Prada purse, handbag, clutch on eBay, and you get a message from some lady in Kansas who says, hey, I really love your Prada purse. This was my dead daughter's favorite Prada purse clutch, and I'd like to wear it in her memory. I don't have $100, but could you donate it to us so we could carry on her memory? My daughter loves your My Baby Alive $100 baby that you have listed. She lost hers in a fire after she was diagnosed with cancer, and she really would love to have another one. Would you find it in your heart to donate your Baby Alive $100 baby to us? These are the messages, literally, that come through boxes. And if you've never gotten one, you might think I'm exaggerating or being funny or being cruel. I'm not. These are literally what I've just said to you is not even the tip of the iceberg. People saying their kids got sick, their kids are dead, their mom is dead. Any excuse you can think of, they put in a message and they message you, okay? Are these legitimate? Almost likely no. Has it happened? Maybe. I suppose once or twice somebody in a bad, unfortunate situation has gone to eBay for an item they want and begged to get it for free, but I'm going to go with a hard no. And my answer to you is ignore these messages. Don't even respond to them. It might sound cruel and clash, and if it inspires you that you want to do something good for somebody and donate, then you need to go somewhere that you can verify and donate and do something good for people that aren't on the internet scamming you, because 99% of those messages are scamming. They're trying to get something for free. They're trying to build their own inventory. They probably send out hundreds of these messages a week, and people fall for it. The bleeding heart stories work. It's terrible, but it works. And people are like, oh, it's just a $20 doll. Just send it to them. No, No, if it was legitimate and you were standing in front of me and I knew it was a real story, even some of those, I can't donate to everyone, but maybe I'd give up some of those. But I'm not gonna send if I sent every person that messaged me on eBay about their failing family or this or that, and they're all scammers, I'd give away my whole inventory. It's just not okay, right? So you have to be, I understand it's the season and be nice, but man, these people are just trying to take advantage of you. They're trying to take advantage of you. Don't let them take advantage of you. There are a lot of bad people on the internet. Just don't let them take advantage of you. Guys, please, please listen to what I'm telling you. Don't give away your inventory. These people are lying. And let me tell you, I've had many members of my Facebook groups and many followers and viewers of mine call out the bluff to some of these people and say, boom, send me all your info. Send me your name. Send me your address to ship it to. Send me the story. Send me the news story. Send me the hospital records. And guess what? Goose egg. No response, no reply, no evidence, because they're liars, and it makes me angry. Don't take advantage of people's sicknesses and kindness and bad situations and cancer and fires and things that actually happen to people that need help just to build your own eBay inventory or make yourself rich. Ugh, kill people for that. All right, that's the last scam I wanted to cover. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you as always. Remember, I am retiring my training program that goes over everything you just learned in this video times a million, start to finish. You learn eBay, tips, tricks, what to look for, how to sell, sell-through rates, prices, items, bolos, hundreds and hundreds of bolos. Amazon, how to sell Amazon, FBM, FBA, wholesale, private label, top to bottom, bulk purchasing, affiliate sales, Poshmark, sharing, parties, everything you need to know, your accounting, registering your business, legalizing, starting a business, start to finish, top to bottom, A to Z, with items to sell, with places to get merchandise, and my private Facebook group. It's $20.20. It's linked below. We're coming to the end of the year. I'm retiring it, and I'll have a whole new project I'll work on next year, but this is your chance to get your business off the ground for 2020 and move it into 2021 on the right foot. So that link's below. Appreciate all of you that pick it up. Thank you as always. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys next time.